The University of Detroit Mercy presents another brand new episode of Ask the Professor, the radio show on which you match wits with University of Detroit Mercy professors in an unrehearsed session of questions and answers. Today's program was recorded using Zoom video conferencing technology.
The University Tower chimes ring in another session of Ask the Professor, the show on which you match wits with University of Detroit Mercy professors in an unrehearsed session of questions and answers. I'm your host, Matt Maggio, and let me introduce to you our panel for today. Professor Jim Tubbs is here.
Hello, hello.
Retired.
Well, still retired, yes.
I mean, you're fully retired then.
Yeah, well, yes, fully retired. Mm-hmm.
But every once in a while you pitch in for the department.
Well, like this fall, yes.
Yeah, exactly. How are things, Jim?
Well, so far so good, I suppose. It's it's tiring not being able to go out and do a lot of the usual things like going to the movies, going out to eat most places, going to the ball game. Miss that. It's just not summer. But we do what we can do.
That's right. Especially when it comes to baseball. I got a text from a friend the other day. Baseball is back? ? I'm like, yeah, that's pretty much it. Who knows what can get done in 60 games, right? Professor Dan Maggio is here with us today.
Hi, Matt.
What's going on?
Oh, not much.
Okay, I'll take it.
And I feel like life is getting, even though there's differences, it's getting back to normal. I'm starting to, I feel kind of in a routine,
Sure.
able to do most of the things that I was doing.
Okay.
So,
Good. What's something that you've reached out and done for the first time in 3 or 4 months or something like that?
I had a house party for the block. No, just kidding. No, what did I do? Went out to dinner.
Okay.
Actually, with Dave and Kukul and Sharon.
Okay.
We were outside, but we had dinner. So that was kind of normal.
It is normal.
What else? Going to the market, just going to the store.
Okay. Listen to the roar of the engines on Woodward Avenue.
Yes. Wouldn't be summer.
Sorry. Such a downer. Professor Heather Hill is here from Department of English.
Hello.
I'm assuming that you are far enough away from the Woodward Dream Cruise, air quotes, to not have to deal with roaring engines at all hours.
I know, I still hear it.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's shaking with you, Heather?
Well, I just brewed a lovely cup of chrysanthemum tea.
Nice.
I'm really
Ooh.
yeah.
It is tea time.
I tried it
Nice.
before, and so I am enjoying it.
Okay.
Did you brew that from your own homegrown flowers?
No, but I suppose I could, because I usually do get quite a few mums in the fall, so I'm enjoying that small thing.
Nice. Very nice.
And so much better than hemlock tea.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
That was a no-no.
Please don't grow your own hemlock, Heather. Please.
You're getting a little too Shakespearean there.
Yeah.
Professor Stephen Manning is here with us, also from the Department of Retired, as we like to say on the show. And how are things with you, Stephen?
Good. I don't think I've asked what day today is as often as I have this spring. Just every day, Wednesday, Sunday, it seems to make no difference.
It's Blur's Day.
Is something open today? What day is today? Who knows?
I can tell you what's not open, gyms. And
Yes.
even though, of course, I agree with the shutdown, it kind of hurts to get jerked around like that, is all I got to say. But
I did have a dental appointment recently, so they're back to doing that, which was at the University Dental Clinic in Corktown. That was an odd experience, being there were a lot of people there. It was like normal. You walk through to the faculty practice thing, and they have that thing on the side, and there were an awful lot of people there, and it felt a little weird, but it was just for a normal teeth cleaning. And the woman the technician was head to toe outfitted, mask, the hazmat suit, the whole bit. So Um, that felt a little bit a return to normal, but also quite weird.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Professor Dave Chow is also joining us today.
Pleasure to be here, as always.
Excellent. What's shaking with you, Dave?
Nothing much, just dealing with a neighbor across the street that just had a collapsed sewer line.
I saw that.
Oh,
Ooh.
Lordy. I have never seen, it's like we've had more trucks on our street than the Pilot gas station down I-75. I mean,
Is that actually what happened? You always know these things about our neighborhood.
the amount of 18-wheelers, cement trucks on our street has been unreal.
Well, I mean,
live inside of garage traffic. Almost.
yeah, it wasn't just the old classic, at least the Metro Detroit classic, digging up the front yard. They took out a chunk of the street.
Yeah.
Hmm.
I found out they actually collapsed the city sewer line by accident. Oops.
How did they do that?
I guess they were replacing the line, and something happened down there. I don't know.
Wow,
Oh, the liner.
This morning they started, so
that's wild.
was that Dan?
The homeowner was replacing the liner
No,
or installing a liner.
what it was, the house is up for sale. It's sold, but then the inspection came back and said, you got a cracked sewer pipe.
Not
So
good. Not good. There's just something about driving through the neighborhood and seeing that mound of dirt in your neighbor's front yard. You know exactly what's going on in the great swamp we call Berkeley, Michigan.
lovely.
We are once again blessed to be graced with the presence of longtime question submitter Kimberly Richards, coming at us live from the San Fernando Valley in California. Thanks for joining us again, Kimberly.
Salings and Greekitations.
Awesome. We're, you didn't mention the last time we were speaking, but maybe we can draw it out of you now that you said whenever you get on the phone, your budgies also want to partake in the conversation.
And you can probably hear them in the background because I know they're very vocal. But I've also been told, and it's the truth, you can tell from that sound when a budgie is happy with its home. They
Awesome.
don't make that sound unless they're really, really comfortable with their surroundings. So people have always noted how happy my birds sound.
I figured it was that, or you were camping.
Yeah.
No, that's my little flock of 6 budgies, the birds we commonly call parakeets.
Yeah, very cute. Very, very cute.
Yeah.
Hey, folks.
They're great company, too, especially when you're sheltering in place.
Sure. So, folks, this is a program you could send us questions regarding anything. Frankly, it's been a while since we've seen something about pet birds. If you stump the panel, you win a prize. If you don't stump the panel, you win a prize. You can send us the questions in a number of ways. You can email us at atp@udmercy.edu. You can reach us on the web at udmercy.edu/ATP. You can find us on Facebook or listen on your favorite smart speaker by saying, play Ask the Professor at University of Detroit Mercy. When last we were together, we had a really great set of questions all over the place with great background from Detroit Mercy alumna 2011, Natalie Bohe. Just realized that she didn't specify what her degree was, but we'll take it. I certainly recognize seeing your face in the actual visual clue we had in our last one, which was a picture of you and famous Canadian singer Lorena McKenna, one of my favorites, actually. So here we go. We're moving on with the rest of these questions. Name the 2 vehicles that would be considered the ancestors to a modern food truck.
Oh, like a Divco truck?
I know what you mean, Dave, but that's not what it says here. Let's see if we can take a little more
Like a
on it.
panel truck?
So
One more time.
What was the Divco truck? What is that?
That's an old milk truck.
Oh, I was going to
It's
say
not
one of
a-
those catering trucks that used to pull up to a business and sell sandwiches or whatever else there
like
was.
An old Schwann's ice cream truck.
Yeah.
So I'm going to give partial credit. The way it's described here is a lunch wagon.
Okay.
And you know where you can see one of these in Metro Detroit, right? On display.
At the Henry Ford?
It's at the Henry Ford. It's called the Owl Knight.
Yeah.
It's got a big owl painted on the side. What would have come before a lunch wagon?
Duck wagon?
Ice cream truck?
We're looking for it's a good guess, Stephen, but we're looking for a chuck wagon. So all the way back in the day.
Oh,
Vehicles that would have served food directly from them, right? Yep.
So my father worked on in Canada
Mm-hmm.
on the railroads.
FYI, it says here, if you've ever been to Greenfield Village, you can see the Owl Knight, the last remaining horse-drawn lunch wagon to date. Henry Ford purchased it because he had bought lunch from it in 1927.
Huh.
Oh. Which 2012 novel by a Swedish writer, columnist, and blogger, Fredrik Backman, was adapted into a 2015 film?
The girl with the dragon tattoo.
That would have been my first guess when I think of Scandinavian modern novels, but that's not it, Dan.
That's not it.
No. No.
into a.
Any ideas?
What's genre with it?
That's a good question. All I can tell you is this. It says reviewers compared the movie of the book to films such as St. Vincent and
That's Bill Murray. That is a great movie, by the way. If you're looking for a movie this weekend, rent St. Vincent.
And they also compared it to Gran Torino, which of course was filmed very close to the campus of University of Great Mercy.
Yeah.
Any ideas?
No.
This is a tough one. So the book and film are called A Man Called Uwe, is what they were called. And Tom Hanks, according to this, was involved at some point. So that's all I got. Let's move on. This large, hairy breed of dog is used by local tribes to protect livestock against wolves, leopards, bears, tigers, and large mustelids. Name that breed.
Pyrenees?
Yeah, Great
St.
Pyrenees.
Bernard.
These dogs have a deep, loud bark, Natalie says.
Mastiff.
It's a mastiff. Yes, a mastiff. That is every once in a while you see the sort of standard mutt, with all due respect to dogs, they're wonderful, being walked around your neighborhood. But if one of your neighbors has a mastiff, it's as if like the circus came to town and there's like little kids riding it like it's a horse. That is a big dog.
So Dave mentioned Great Pyrenees. I have a friend who loves them. She's on her third or fourth one. But they're very lovable dogs, very scary and protective. But once you get close to them, they're just a big baby. I don't know if anybody's ever interacted with the Great Pyrenees. They're 140 pounds. They'll rub up against you for a pet and basically knock you over. But they're a great breed. Very hairy.
That was the tip-off. Who is considered to be the founder of the New Age movement? I know I've heard this before, but I couldn't remember the name until, of course, I read the question. Who's considered to be the founder of the New Age movement?
New Age.
New Age, not New Age. John Tesh.
Enya.
There you go.
Timothy Leary.
Yeah.
That's a good guess. That's a good guess. It says this person was considered to be the father of holistic medicine and once called by a biographer the sleeping prophet. He had been a Sunday school teacher, and throughout his lifetime, he claims to have given over 14,000 psychic readings.
Ooh.
Any ideas?
Well, that leaves out Mr. Rogers.
Leo.
Yeah.
Yeah, leaves out Mr. Rogers.
Starts with the letter C. That's about all I can do here because it's sort of like one of those one word names like Cher, Madonna, Sting, sort of like that.
That's with a C.
Yes.
Mr. Cleo.
Mr. Cleo.
I'm afraid it's not Mr. Cleo or Miss Cleo. It's here. The person's name is Casey. Cayce is the name that's given. Founder of the new.
Yeah. Isn't that what Edgar Casey or what?
Yeah, his first name is Edgar.
Yeah, I think Edgar was the father of this one.
Oh, okay.
Because Edgar goes back a ways, goes back to the 40s. But I think there was another Casey in the family that.
So we have him to blame.
Yeah, exactly. Natalie adds, sorry, and obviously no connection to Shaggy in Scooby-Doo. I appreciate that. There was a big internet meme thing this week where you were supposed to take a picture of yourself and then put a cartoon character next to you because you look like that person. And people were texting me like, put yourself up there with Shaggy. I'm like, I'm not going to do it. Okay, what was the name of the educational board game created by Texas Instruments in the 1990s?
Wasn't like a Simon or anything like that, was it?
It had a world map as its game board and colored airplanes for player pieces and an electronic device that would ask you questions about.
I was gonna say Risk. Oh,
not
No.
Risk. Not Risk.
my Kamchatka. Oh,
You suck.
It
Boy, that
started,
doesn't ring a bell at all.
it started with the letter P, and it would have been something you would have needed to go from country to country.
Passport.
Passport was the name of the game. Yeah, that's
Hmm.
right. It's a little bit of a meme for the early millennials because there was this very sort of distinctive voice when you press the button to get your question and things like that. So the game was Passport. Okay, we've got 2 bonus questions here from Natalie. Let's see what we can do with them. Okay, how many Earth years does it take Jupiter to make a circuit around the sun?
Ooh.
1,040.
It's not that much.
325.
It is a large amount, though.
It is.
650.
Earth year, it's a lot. What was that, Jim?
650?
No.
170.
No.
All right, I'm done guessing. I'm gonna leave it up the rest of the panel.
I'm going to go directly to Heather. The next thing Heather says is going to be almost exactly correct.
42.
Oh, so close. No, it says it takes 12 years of Earth to
Oh,
do
that's it?
way
Oh.
around the sun. for
Close
Jupiter.
enough, right?
Well, Jupiter's
It's a
quite a bit
leader.
big.
Wait a minute. Does that mean that on Jupiter, a presidential term is 48 years?
Oh, my.
It could be.
Gonna not touch
I'm,
that.
I'm officially scared.
Maybe that would appeal to some people to leave.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get sucked into the big red spot.
You
Head
get
for
along.
another planet.
Yep. Neptune, here we come.
One more bonus question from Natalie. Which special effects company, founded in 1957, provides its clients flying services for television, stage, and film?
Flying service.
Peter Pan Productions.
I'm
Well,
thinking
I'll tell you what, it says that one of their most famous productions was Peter Pan, but that's not the name of the company.
Let's see.
what's it like Panavision? It's not pre-ILM. Let's see.
Mm-mm.
Special effects company?
This is fascinating. This is going to stay with me forever. It is exclusively a company that you call when you want to have safe flying special effects. This is great. This
Well,
is so cool.
U-Haul or
Safe flying special.
Northwest
effects.
Airlines Cargo or something like that.
Well, I'd give it away if I told you it was who it was founded by. But it's a pretty big name in the world of Hollywood. Peter Foy was one of the sort of post B movie. Let's take special effects seriously. It's not for just crazy sci-fi. So the name of his company is Flying by Foy. Exists to this day, and all they do is flying special effects.
Okay.
Fascinating.
I wonder how
That's clever.
drones have affected their business.
Oh gosh, can't even begin to imagine. Can't even begin to imagine. Okay, thanks a lot for sending those in, Natalie. Those were awesome. I'm going to say, to be quite frank, that she stumped us because there were a few there where
We didn't have a clue.
Yeah, she's getting the coffee mug and 5 pounds of coffee.
Mm-hmm. Hey,
So
we
here's
should
another-
get our own coffee beans and to hand out with the mugs.
Ask the Professor brand.
Yes, we can have our own grinders,
Slightly bitter.
our own espresso cups.
Keep you up all night.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Wait a minute, Jim. Didn't you tell us once you had some of that weird coffee that was like black as pitch that kept
Oh,
you up.
it was Costa Rican coffee. And after I ground it and brewed it, it was the color of your hair.
Ooh.
Wow.
That's dark.
That is
Yes.
dark.
So here we go. We got a new set of questions here from another longtime question sender. Dear professors, it's been what seems like forever since I've sent in a set. I've sent in all sorts of odd questions in the past that seem to challenge the professor's knowledge. But throughout the years that I've been listening, the one topic the professors always seem to gravitate towards is food. So below are 15 questions about restaurants and dining out, a tier. I hope I know we're in the midst of the pandemic. Dining out might seem like a distant memory, but I hope the questions will give the panel and listeners hope that this will happen again soon. The totally arbitrary 80% shall be passing.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Sincerely, Rachel Ralston of Norwalk, Iowa. Thanks for sending these in, Rachel. Okay, a few of these are sort of classics when it comes to food, so a couple of softballs to get us warmed up here. What fast food chain is currently based in Dublin, Ohio?
That is outside of Columbus.
Wendy's?
It is Wendy's. A man
Wendy's.
named Dave was there. Yes, that's
Dave
Wendy's.
Thomas.
Dave Thomas.
Yes, I had a friend in graduate school who went to kindergarten with Wendy, his
Oh,
daughter,
wow.
that the chain was named after.
That's right. That's right. One of these should be relatively easy. The other two, yeah, good luck. Besides the U.S., only 3 other countries on Earth have Arby's. What's the
Canada?
obvious?
Yeah, right, Canada.
Can you name even one of the other 2? Good luck.
Um,
Was that
So-
a beer?
Switzerland.
China?
You know, it's not Japanese. Both countries are severely in the Middle East.
Qatar,
Qatar is one of them,
Yemen,
not Yemen.
Why?
Nope.
UAR.
Mm-mm.
the United Arab Emirates,
Nope.
Saudi
Saudi
Arabia.
Iraq, Iran, Kuwait,
I don't want to
Jordan,
give it away when I say this, but
Israel.
this is a country named for the people that populate it, and because of, as always with language, mistaken identity, that's why the Benjamin Franklin wished national bird of the United States got its name.
Turkey.
Turkey.
Yeah, Turkey's the other one.
Oh, Turkey, yes.
Canada, Qatar, and Turkey. They like Arby's. What can I say? You know.
How?
Well, at
is
least
franchise?
Arby's is better than KFC, which you see everywhere.
Everywhere.
Mhm. So I don't know if you remember, but back in the day for Arby's, when you went in and ordered a sandwich, they actually had the meat on a cutter.
Yep.
It was going back and forth. They
Sliced
would
it.
shave it
Mhm.
thin
Yeah.
and make it right there for you. So when you compare that with what today's Arby's are like, there's a world of difference.
No, do they still have a cutter or not? Man, I mean, I haven't been inside.
Behind, I don't know, they probably come in prepackaged, vacuum sealed.
Oh, like that big
Containers.
Spamalot thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So I don't eat there anymore, but I used to love Arby's.
So
I don't
everybody.
eat at Arby's anymore since the one closest to my house got turned into a Starbucks.
Oh,
Oh,
Surprise.
Everybody knows that the famous sandwich that we call the Big Mac was introduced in Pittsburgh in 1967. But prior to it being called a Big Mac, there were 2 other names that the sandwich was purported to be basically market tested under. Does anybody know off the top of their head?
The triple decker.
Mm-mm, mm-mm.
How about a McJumbo?
How about a Leigh Mac?
a McCrock.
We'll try this.
McDouble.
McDouble?
No, I've got 2 here. One would be the sort of prize you would win at maybe a county or a state fair.
A blue
Stuffed
ribbon?
animal?
It's a blue ribbon. Is
Blue
what
ribbon.
at some point.
Terrible name for a hamburger.
Yeah,
Terrible.
Well, it beats being called a teddy bear. I mean,
I don't know.
The other one was when someone is particularly self-professedly refined in society, we would use this A word to describe
Arrogant?
aristocrat.
the aristocrat. Yes.
Oh. Really?
That's not very good either. Big Mac works better than either of those.
I think that they won that.
Cheese Royale would be better than either of
That's
those.
what I was
Well,
thinking. That's what
yes.
I was trying to think of.
Go to Paris, and that's what you
Yeah.
get.
Oh, that's so awesome. So, what famous novel had a major influence in the design of White Castle restaurants? The fact that there are these shining white, tiny little castles.
Oh,
What novel?
Novel.
Yeah,
Heather, what was that one book about cleanliness back in the 20s or whatever? The meat packing or whatever. Do you remember that?
that is exactly what this is.
I'm
The
trying to remember.
Jungle, Upton Sinclair.
The Upton Sinclair's The Jungle?
Yeah, it's Upton Sinclair's The Jungle. Kimberly got it. Yeah.
That was like 1906, I think.
Is
That's
that
right,
really
it was
what you want your
exactly-
burgers to be associated with?
Well, but listen here. The novel spoke of the horrible conditions in the meatpacking industry, which contrasted with porcelain enamel exteriors, stainless steel interiors, and employees in spotless uniforms. So it's
Oh,
sort of like
Okay.
a counter.
yeah, the
argument.
novel made people sick.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
the novel was what not to do.
Well, surprisingly, so do the burgers.
So I noticed that this
I-
question set was
Into either Arby's or White Castle. Did I not?
I have
think
had
you
White
are.
Castle exactly once when I visited a friend in Dayton, Ohio in 1986. Because we don't get White Castle in California.
You're lucky.
it's you're more of a what is it, a hot and now kind of state, aren't you?
Yeah.
Or In and Out?
However, we have more in and outs than anyone else, so
That's
Yeah.
right.
it
Yeah.
all evens out.
In and Out is the best. Grilled onion.
I'm noticing a little bit of a trend here in Rachel's questions. The next question is, how many burgers are in a White Castle Crave case and Crave crate, respectively?
Hey,
1 in 100. I
10
think.
would be, I would say 10 for
I
cake.
think it's 6 and 20, isn't it?
No, that's the one that comes in that big suitcase thing. It's like 20 or 50, isn't it?
24.
We've had a couple answers that are pretty darn close. The case is 30.
Oh,
You're-
okay.
Okay.
The Crave crate,
50.
Dave said, is 100. It's 100 handles.
Oh,
Wow.
It's like a small coffin.
Yeah.
What-
well, that's what you're going to need if you eat 100 of them.
Yeah, the first ones would be quite cold by the time you finish making the latter ones.
That's horrible.
Do not order the crate unless you're going to have the party you're not allowed to have under social distance.
That's exactly right.
Well, true. Yeah, you'd need about 30 people.
Oh. What restaurant chain did A. Alfred Taubman himself purchase in 1982?
A&W.
A&W Restaurants. That's right. He sold it just a few years later, which is odd, but good old Alfred Taubman.
Right before he went to jail.
That's right.
For what?
He was in collusion with Sotheby's and Christie's, the auction houses. That was scary.
Speaking of famous names and restaurants, there was a restaurant chain that was founded by a wrestler. His name is Rocky Aoki. You know what famous restaurant chain? We've got a couple around Metro Detroit.
Rocky. Aoki.
Hmm.
It's not fast food, is it?
I wouldn't call it fast food. It's a sit-down restaurant, but you sit in a very special way.
Sit on the floor
No,
on a pillow.
around something.
The Japanese.
Like a Benihana's?
Benihana, yeah. Heather and Dave got it
Oh,
together. It's
yeah.
a Benihana.
Hmm.
In the immortal words of that one comedian that always makes me laugh, I always have to go to the bathroom before the onion volcano.
Yes.
Let's see here. Alan Hale Jr., the skipper on Gilligan's Island, once opened a restaurant in LA. What sort of cuisine did it serve? Kimberly, you're our ringer.
I remember this restaurant. It was a seafood restaurant.
That's exactly correct. Yeah. Alan
Coconut
Hale's
drinks.
Lobster Barrel.
Mm-hmm.
Lobster
Oh.
barrel.
It was down by the port of Los Angeles, San Pedro.
Oh my gosh. it's such a great button for having you on our show here. That's awesome.
Perfect timing.
I remember him doing the television commercials for it
Gosh.
himself.
Hey, little buddy.
We're gonna go into our ATP favorites to wrap this show up. This is a good one. Frank Burrows and his family sent us a list of over 35 individual favorites to ask us about. I have no idea where this is going to go, but I guarantee you we've never done it before. I need to know, or Frank and his, I nearly said Alan Hale needs to know. Frank and his family would like to know the professor's favorite conspiracy theory.
Oh,
Doesn't mean you have to believe it. It just is your favorite one because it's maybe completely off the wall.
Favorite conspiracy.
well, the flat Earth.
So you like
Listen,
okay.
I mean, because it's absurd. So they all are, I guess, but that one is particularly absurd.
It's a good one.
I think those black helicopters from the UN, because down south I heard about those a lot. Yes.
Sure.
That the U.S. government planned the 9/11 attacks.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
9/11. Heard that a lot.
Yep.
JFK, obviously.
Heather, yours was
Oh, the assassination of JFK.
JFK.
Oh.
It's probably number one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that was the first one that came to my mind too, Heather.
Okay.
And bear in mind, I was only 7 years old when that happened, so that's quite an impact. That's quite an impression on my mind to still be that quickly recalled this many years later.
Sure.
And there were so many of them, that LBJ was behind it, that the Castro was behind it. I mean, there was just
The
a whole
mob.
slew of the mob, yeah.
Yep, that's right.
We'll never know.
How about this for a current one? Because it still makes me laugh at the absurdity of it. That Barack Obama was not born in Hawaii.
Ay, caramba.
Yeah, no, yeah.
That's been called a conspiracy theory too. That was all covered up.
A testament to our times. Yes.
To which I always said, gee, it's like, and it was so easy for the people. I sent my people, yes, and look, they went to the Hawaiian people, and they were able to come up with a birth certificate right away. Some conspiracy that was, huh?
The deep
Dave,
state. The deep state.
How many more months?
everything's right. Everything's deep state now.
Shh, we don't talk about
Oh, oops. It's like Fight Club, right, Dan?
Dave, we haven't heard from you yet.
Oh, I don't know. Any one of those cryptozoology ones always thrills me. That's all.
Chupacabra.
Chupacabra, Bigfoot, Sasquatch, Loch Ness,
Sure.
Ogopogo, all that stuff. Area 51 even.
Of course.
The Hollow Earth. I love all that stuff. And who's that one UDM guy that does that show too?
Oh my gosh, George.
George Nuri.
Yeah.
Man, what about you?
Yeah,
You're
it's
the scientist.
good. My favorites, if you're asking me what my favorite is, and I'm not doing a very good job of remembering it right now, it's whatever the ones that are just so totally over the top. Like, I grew up in a world where I'm standing there mostly with my parents at the grocery store, and what do you see? Like weekly world news, as you check out, and whatever was the headline, I was just in love with it. Like, I
Bad
begged
child.
my mom to buy that for me just so I could read the ludicrousness, and she never did. It's,
Oh, like the
Matt,
Men in Black one.
when I did morning radio, I used to rely on those as bits, as little quick throwaway bits. And I'll share one with you that came out of, I think, Weekly World News at the time. I came out of some song, some sappy love song, and I said, we're talking about this. It's like, it turns out that when you fall in love, your brain releases the same hormone, has the same hormonal reaction as when you eat chocolate. To which I said, that explains Hershey's Kisses.
well, yeah, absolutely. Come on, perfect. So yeah, I'm afraid I don't have a specific one, but anything from about 19.
There were too many for there to be a specific
Oh
one.
yeah, and those magazines, they always had Sasquatch showing up in somebody's backyard.
Oh yeah. We mustn't forget Bat Boy if we're going to talk about the Weekly
Oh
World.
yes, Bad Boy.
I take my hat off to Bat Boy.
Or what about the ones Elvis or JFK still alive somewhere?
Yes.
Right.
Argentina.
But Bad Boy was iconic.
Absolutely. I'm afraid, folks, that this is all the fun time we have for fun today. So I'll ask our panel to say goodbye. Kimberly.
Good to see you all. Stay safe. Enjoy the rest of your summer.
Thanks. Dave.
See ya.
Dan.
Goodbye.
Stephen.
Yeah.
Heather.
Bye.
Jim.
Aloha.
And now these words from University of Detroit Mercy. Ask the Professor is transcribed usually at the facilities of the Briggs Building on the University of Detroit Mercy's McNichols campus and the College of Engineering. No, it is not. It is not the College of Engineering. The College of Liberal Arts and Education, but today it's from our houses. Ask the Professor is produced and technically directed by Michael Jason. You can see him right there. And Mr. Brian Masonville, and our executive producer is Professor Jason Roach. Until next week, I'm your host, Matt Maggio.